Yes, every now we're doing, and welcome to the post-match review for Chelsea 0, Manchester City 2. We kick off the Premier League season with a massive 3 points at Stamford Bridge. We picked up as if we never left. I thought it was a comfortable 2-0 win for City. We were comfortably the better team. We had the better chances. A few players in particular were superb, and we'll talk about them in this video. The main one for me being Rico Lewis, and why not kick it off with Rico? Honestly, he was a star man. He was my man of the match. He ran the show. Full-back, midfield, it didn't matter. He was absolutely everywhere. And look, I've never once doubted Rico Lewis or his ability. I've always thought he's fantastic from the first time I set eyes on him in that Bayern Munich friendly. I could see there we had a player in our hands, but I didn't expect, 2 years later for him to be genuinely one of City's best players on the ball. I know it's a big statement, this, but I actually believe that City are a better side when Rico Lewis plays. And I know, look, he's only 19 and he only gets the odd game here and there because obviously the players we've already got in the squad. If you think wherever he's going to play, his competition for fullback is Kyle Walker, which Kyle Walker, in my opinion, is the best right back in the world. And if he's playing DM, his competition is Rodri. So it's really difficult for him to break into the team. But I just feel like every time I've watched him in a City shirt, he's never disappointed. You can see the effort, the work rate has always been there, no matter how the game's going. I love him. I love him. There's certain players that you appreciate more when you watch them. When it feels like there's a blue on the pitch, and that's what it exactly is with Rico Lewis. He's grown up a City fan. He's living every City fan's dream. And as I said, I think we're a better side with him in it. We play better football. We play quicker football. I think coming out from moving the ball forwards, releasing the ball from defence to midfield to attack, it's smoother, it's crisper, it's quicker when Rico Lewis is there in the pockets, breaking the play. He's the man we can trust him. And you could be listening to this thinking, Raul, come on, he's one game. He's played one Premier League game this season, and look what he's saying. But I honestly think I'd have said the same thing last season. As I've said, I've never doubted him. Anytime I've seen that guy's name on the team sheet, I've always been happy to see him start because you know what you're getting with him. He's a top player, one of our best players as far as technical ability. Pep was singing his praises after that game, singing his praises. So was everyone, but obviously it means more when it's Pep. He said after the game about how when the season finished, his thought was, why didn't I play more with Rico Lewis? Why? And why didn't you? Because that's what you get from him. However, I think his mistake, as far as Rico Lewis's game time, will be rectified this season. I expect a lot more game time for Rico this season, and it will be deserved, and he's going to smash it. I think by the end of the season, he's going to be one of the first names on the team sheet. Mark my words. As for other players that stood out, I want to speak about Kovacic and Bernardo Silva, the other two that played in that midfield role. We'll start off on Kovacic because, we can get the goal out of the way. Yeah, it was a beautiful goal. In my opinion, I think Sanchez should be doing a little bit better. I was stood there watching it. I had a perfect view of it, right? If you've not seen my angle that I filmed of the Kovacic goal, go check out my matchday vlog. It has been uploaded now. It's on my channel. Go give that a watch if you're not already. I had a fantastic angle. I was stood right behind the net. I couldn't have had a better angle if I was sat anywhere else. And when I was there watching it live, I was thinking, oh my God, this is it. This is one of the goal of the seasons already. And since watching it back, I think, look, Sanchez probably should have done a little bit better, but that's not me taking anything away from Kovacic because it wasn't just the finish, it was the run. It was the skipping past Chelsea defenders and midfielders to get into the position. It was a fantastic bit of play by Kovacic. And it's ironic, isn't it? It was him being an ex-Chelsea player. Chelsea sold him to Manchester City for £30 million, which no one doubted was going to be a good bit of business because we've seen him at Real Madrid, we've seen him at Chelsea. We know he's got world-class talent, right? So the idea of Chelsea selling him to us for 30 million and then skipping past Enzo Fernandez, 100 million, Romeo Lavia, 50 million, Caicedo, 150 million, just running through them inside out to get forward, to get into the space, and just the time he was allowed to take the shot off, it was embarrassing from Chelsea. But look, it's not actually the goal I want to talk about. It's his all-round performance for Chelsea. He filled in for Rodri in that holding midfield position. And honestly, we looked comfortable in possession. We looked calm. I'm not saying we didn't miss Rodri because obviously Rodri is our most important player. He's our best player. Everything ticks better with Rodri in the team. And that's not to discredit Kovacic. Rodri's the best midfielder, if not player, in the world. So that's no discredit to Kovacic. But I thought when Rodri needs the rest because it looks like we can't find the right fit to find backup for Rodri. It's tough. He's one of the best in the world. It's difficult. And, last season sort of would have said that, we can't play without Rodri. Sunday's shown that realistically we can because Kovacic filling in that role, obviously with the help of Rico Lewis, with the help of Nico O'Reilly when it comes later in the season. I believe Kovacic can fill that role. I honestly think as much as we sign him as a box-to-box midfielder and his run The creativity he's shown and what he does in front of goal proves that maybe his best position isn't DM, but when needed someone to cover Rodri, when Rodri needs a rest or he's suspended or whatever it is, I honestly think we'll be fine. If we don't go out there and replace Rodri, I think we'll be fine. And I think Kovacic shown that exactly in the Chelsea game. He was superb, covered every bit of ground. I compared him to a pit bull in my match review after it on TikTok. If you don't watch that, go watch that as well. But I compared him to a pit bull, like chasing a bit of ham. Do you know what I'm saying? He was everywhere. There wasn't one player that he didn't stick pressure on. He was great in the battles. He won everything. It was a perfect performance. If it wasn't for Rico Lewis, I'd have given him man of the match. He was superb. As for Bernardo Silva, he was given the Sky Sports man of the match. And look, it was a beautiful bit of play for him, a lovely takedown for Haaland's first goal. But with Bernardo, I worship that guy. I really do. Like I said about Rico Lewis. Now, Rico Lewis is a blue. A blue. He was born a blue, raised a blue. You can see it on the pitch. Whereas Bernardo Silva, he's like an adopted Mancunian. He loves City arguably more than anyone else there. Honestly, the passion that he's shown, even in the Community Shield, when he dashed Garnacho on the floor, and then the passion it showed when he equalised, and realistically, a semi-friendly game, you know what I'm saying? The Community Shield doesn't mean the world. But Bernardo Silva, he loves it. He loves it, and he's shown it throughout his 7 or 8 years at City already. Whether it be the guard of honour in the Liverpool game, you've seen it, the passion in the Arsenal games, the big stages. Now, look, I'm not saying Chelsea away is as big as the Arsenal title clashes or United derbies, stuff like that, but Bernardo loves it. And like I said with Kovacic for the work rate, Bernardo Silva, you expect nothing less because he's shown it. I've said time and time again, the man's got about 8 lungs. He runs everywhere. There's not a blade of grass that he doesn't cover. But it's just sort of an appreciation for Bernardo Silva to say, look, how lucky we are to have this guy because season after season after season. Now, this summer we've not really had it, but up until last season, there was a good 3 or 4 seasons in a row where we was hearing about, we're going to lose him to Barcelona, we're going to lose him to PSG because of the weather, blah, blah, blah. Look, we lost Alvarez to the weather. And it is what it is. It was actually hot on Sunday. So yeah, how about that, Julian, mate? It was warm on Sunday, and it's going to be warm for Ipswich on Saturday. So suck on it anyway. No, I'm joking. I love Alvarez to pieces. I wish him well at Madrid. But yeah, it's just more of an appreciation to Bernardo Silva to say, look, what a player we've got. I worship him. I think he's top. One of the best players in the world, one of the most underrated players in the world, because I feel like he's disliked by a lot of fans outside the City fan base because of the way he is, his aggression. To us, it shows his desire and love, but to others, I understand he's that type of player. As if he wasn't in a City shirt, I'd probably hate him, but because he's in a City shirt, I love him to pieces. You know what I'm saying? Elsewhere, obviously, Savinho made his Premier League debut, which I thought was very impressive. Look, I know it was only 45 minutes. He came off at half-time with a slight knee injury. It's something he's felt before, Pep said, but nothing too serious, nothing to be worried about. He might be okay for Ipswich on Saturday, which is positive news. But even though it was just a 45-minute spell, I was really impressed with him. Him and Doku, either side of the wing, is going to give defenders nightmares. Cucurella, he was having nightmares. We'll talk about him as well. Don't think I forgot about him, but it was causing Chelsea's defence a lot of problems. Every single time he got a chance, he was making the defender look silly, constantly beating his man. He created a good few shooting opportunities, one for Erling Haaland, one at the edge of the box for Kovacic. I was really impressed with him. I know we've lost Alvarez, and Alvarez was an option on the wing when we needed it, but I wouldn't go out there, even though Oscar Bob is now out injured, and we've lost Alvarez. I wouldn't go out there and sign another winger. If Savinho stays fit, Doku stays fit, Grealish stays fit, I actually think we will be okay. I'm not saying we shouldn't go out there and sign another attacker, because if it was up to me, I think we've got to sign a backup striker for Erling Haaland more so than a winger. But Savinho, really, really impressive. It's like having another Riyad Mahrez, isn't it? I mean, look, people were making the comparisons before even watching him in a City shirt. And I wanted to wait. I wanted to see what he was like in the Premier League. Obviously, it's very different to the Spanish League. A lot more physical, but he doesn't look bothered by it in the slightest. He was dancing through Chelsea's defence. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with him on the wing this season. I really, really, really do see it. It's like a mini Mahrez again. And I missed Mahrez as a man who loved Mahrez, appreciated him a lot. Mahrez is the type of player who got fans off the seats, just make you fall in love with football, the way he dribbles and dances with the ball, his skills. And Savinho, it's like having a Mahrez region, and it's beautiful to watch. I'm excited for the season. Anyway, look, I think it's about time that we get on the topic of Cucurella. How about that one? About making Haaland tremble. Do not be daft. Haaland made him look stupid. The amount of fantastic, iconic pictures to come out of this game. I don't know why he did it to himself. He set himself up for failure as soon as he started singing that stupid song after the Euros, speaking about Haaland trembling. Haaland bodied him time and time again. If you think about Haaland's goal, Who was the man trying to get in front of him? Who was the man trying to get the ball off him? Cucurella. You've seen it in his face. He was hurting. In the second half, Cucurella trying to defend Haaland, trying to block him to win the ball. He cramps up while defending him. And you just see Haaland walk past you casually, look at him as if to think, what the fuck are you doing? And then walk off. It was legendary. It was iconic. I love Haaland for it. I love that about him. He's a great personality. Not only is he a fantastic scorer, I mean, it was a 100th Premier League game, not Premier League game, 100th game for City. 91 goals he scored for us, over 100 goal contributions. It's insane. But not only do we just love him for his ability in scoring goals, he's a personality. We've seen it time and time again last season, whether it be with Dan Burn or Ben Godfrey. We've seen it now with Cucurella. I love the man, I really do. But he made Cucurella look stupid. Honest to God, like I said, I don't know why he did it. Why did he set himself up for failure? Especially when he was going to have to defend against Haaland in the first league game of the season. I'm pretty certain that was already confirmed before the Euros final. Singing about Haaland trembling and him eating paella and drinking Estrella. Look, he made him look like he was drinking Estrella before the game. It was disgusting the way Cucurella played. And how about that, right? When he's been substituted and he's walking off the pitch, he's got to walk past the City fans. Once again, had a beautiful angle of it. I've got it on the matchday vlog, so if you've not seen it, go and give it a watch, like I said. But he's walking along and we're just all singing, wanker, wanker, Haaland, Haaland, Haaland. It was mint. Honestly, poetry. There's certain things that happen in football that you think, look, that was meant to happen. That on Sunday, the way Haaland played, the way he bodied Cucurella, looked at him in disgust, look at his stupidity. It was meant to happen. Things in football are meant to happen, and that is one of them. Even after the game, when Erling Haaland was asked about the incident with Cucurella and his thoughts and everything that was said and how the game went, he even bodied him then as if he didn't do enough damage on the pitch. He started saying about how last time he played, Cucurella asked for his shirt after the game, so he don't know why he's singing songs about him. Honestly, what a man. Love the guy to pieces. But anyway, look, enough about the actual game in itself. What does that mean for Manchester City? Like I said at the start of this video, we picked up as if we'd never left. That now makes it 24 consecutive Premier League games unbeaten. I'm hoping that we can just keep unbeaten, extend the run as far as possible, break the record, whatever it is. Just another one to tick off for Guardiola as if he doesn't have already enough as it is. In fact, in that Chelsea game, he did break another Premier League record. It's now 10 consecutive Premier League wins by 2 or more goals. City, another one, never been done before. Guardiola comes along, bang, sorted, another meaningless one for the club. But it's good, isn't it? Any little new record we can break, it's always nice. Speaking of Guardiola, we've extended his good run on opening day fixtures. 9 games played, 8 wins now, only the 1 loss. So it's another good result for him personally. And I liked what the City fans were doing at Stamford Bridge. We were singing for Guardiola constantly. When it came to the end of the game, Guardiola coming over to the fans like he always does, singing, "We've got Guardiola." It was perfect. I think we're going to see that a lot. But we're going to have to do anything we possibly can to try and just encourage him just to stay a little bit longer. 2 more years, Pep. That's all I'm asking for. 2 more years. I've seen a flag in a top stand with the City fans with Guardiola's face on it. It's got to do what we can do. Do you know what I'm saying? Please stay, Pep, please. And look, I think it's certainly too early to start talking about the Premier League table and looking where that means for the table. That's for a good few weeks and months to come. But a win's a win. 3 points on the board. A big 3 points as well. When you consider last season at Stamford Bridge, we only picked up 1. Across both games against Chelsea last season, we picked up 2 points from a possible 6. So already pick up 3, more than we did last season. I think it's really, really good for us City. As far as this game week for the other Premier League teams, I don't think there's really been an upset as the Spurs drew to Leicester 1-1, if you can call that an upset. But I don't know, nothing that really affects City's season too much. Liverpool won, Arsenal won, and I think, especially Arsenal, they're the main one that's going to challenge us. But we always expected them to win. I expect them to not lose a game until they play us in a few weeks, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, look, I'm going to leave that one there. Like I've said multiple times in this video, my matchday vlog for the game is out now on the YouTube channel. Thank you for the support already on it. If you've not seen it, go and give it a watch. In my opinion anyway, it's a banger. I think we started off the season as we mean to go on. It was a brilliant video, if I do say so myself. There'll be more of that to come. Keep an eye out as well because İlkay Gundogan, it looks to be a potential move back to Manchester City. So if that does materialise, if it does end up happening, 1, I'll be the happiest man in the world. But 2, you'll see another video on here if that happens before the Ipswich video. If not, then next up, Ipswich at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for it back at the Etihad. I've missed it. I've missed my home, missed my second home. But yeah, a 2-0 win away at Stamford Bridge. Start as we mean to go on. Come on, City. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, nice one. Come on.